It was the moment fans had sensed coming all along. That one scene, Christine standing in her kitchen, her voice trembling, eyes heavy with disappointment, telling Cody that intimacy was no longer part of their relationship. This wasn't just a marriage falling apart. It was Christine finally drawing a clear line after years of setting her own needs aside. It marked the beginning of something far deeper than a divorce. It was the moment she chose herself. Hey friends, it's Harry. Welcome back to the channel. If you've been following Sister Wives from the start, or even just caught a few episodes here and there, you already know, this show isn't just about plural marriage. It's about power, identity, and the quiet struggles happening behind closed doors. If you're here for real talk, real emotions, and the truth about what's been unfolding in this family, you're in the right place. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and drop a comment below. Did you see Christine's departure coming, or were you just as stunned as the rest of us? Today, we're diving into one of the most unforgettable turning points in reality TV. Christine Brown's quiet rebellion and how it sparked a powerful transformation. For years, we watched her smile through the pain of being sidelined. We saw the hurt in her eyes, the way her voice faltered whenever she tried to explain her place in a marriage that didn't seem to value her. But now, everything is different. She's no longer asking for space in someone else's life. She's building a life of her own. And honestly, it's one of the most empowering evolutions we've seen on this show. Let's talk about how she got there. When Christine first appeared on Sister Wives, she radiated warmth. There was a spark in her eyes, a deep belief that she was part of something bigger, something sacred. Back then, she wasn't just another wife in a plural marriage. She was the one who chose this life. Unlike some of the others, who hesitated or had doubts, Christine was all in. She believed in the principle, the family bond, and the love that plural marriage promised to create. She even said in those early interviews that she wanted to be the third wife. She liked the idea of a bustling home full of children and sister wives. But what she didn't realize then, what she would painfully learn over time, was just how lonely that role could become. In those early seasons, it was easy to miss the red flags. Christine was often seen cooking for everyone, helping with the kids, laughing in the background. She was the fun wife, the one who kept the mood light. But as the seasons passed, the cracks in that perfect family image started to show. Christine didn't just feel left out. She was left out. When the family moved to Flagstaff and Cody started spending more and more time with Robin, Christine didn't hide how invisible she felt. In one episode, she broke down, saying she felt like a basement wife. That phrase cut deep. It wasn't just about physical space, it was emotional. She wasn't a priority. She wasn't being seen. There was that heartbreaking moment when Christine admitted she had begged for attention, begged to feel wanted in her own marriage. And what did she get? Distance. Excuses. A husband who never showed up for her the way he did for someone else. She stayed for years, hoping things would change. But slowly, that hope turned into heartbreak. And the woman who had once championed plural marriage realized she was being left behind in her own story. By season 16, Sister Wives wasn't just dramatic, it was devastating. Everything Christine had been bottling up for years came flooding to the surface. And as viewers, we felt every bit of it. When we saw her quietly packing up Cody's belongings from her garage, we knew this wasn't just another fight or an emotional moment that would be patched up in therapy. This was final. The way she folded his shirts, taped up the boxes, and carried them out by herself. It was symbolic. She wasn't just clearing out a closet, she was closing a chapter on her own terms. But what hit even harder were the confessionals. Christine didn't yell. She didn't throw things or perform for the cameras. She sat there, composed but broken, and told the truth. She said she felt betrayed. She admitted she had been heartbroken for years. And in one of the most gut-wrenching moments of the entire series, she confessed that she couldn't keep pretending everything was fine when it wasn't. I don't want to be married to Cody anymore. And the way she said it, it wasn't angry. It was exhausted. It was raw. It was real. Christine's journey after leaving Cody wasn't just a new chapter. It was a complete rewrite of her story. In 2022, fans got their first glimpse of her newfound happiness when she introduced David Woolley to the world. Through a sweet Instagram post, Christine shared a photo of herself holding David's hand, smiling brighter than we'd seen her in years. This was a woman ready to embrace something different, something real, and something that was entirely for her. David, a man who seemed to embody the kindness and steadiness Christine had longed for, appeared to be everything Cody wasn't. He was thoughtful, attentive, and genuinely committed to making Christine feel valued. The shift in her energy was unmistakable. For the first time in what felt like forever, Christine's social media posts radiated confidence and joy. There was a freedom in her smile, a spark that had long been dimmed. Her fans were thrilled, not just because she was moving forward, but because it was so clear how much this new relationship meant to her. Then in 2023, the big moment arrived. Christine and David got married. The wedding was intimate, full of love and warmth, and you could see how profoundly different Christine looked. Gone was the exhaustion and sadness that had shadowed her years with Cody. She was glowing, beaming with a happiness she hadn't felt in so long. This wasn't a wedding out of obligation or compromise. It was a wedding of choice. Christine was marrying a man who made her feel cherished and respected. It was obvious this was her fresh start. But it wasn't just her love life that blossomed. Christine's new home in Utah reflected her clean slate. The cozy, welcoming space was hers to shape, a place where she could finally live life on her terms. She began exploring new business ventures, including her online business, where she opened up about her journey and connected with fans on a deeper level. Watching her grow, personally and professionally, was nothing short of inspiring. It was clear Christine was thriving in ways she simply couldn't in her old life. Her joy wasn't just visible in Instagram posts or on her wedding day. It shone through in everything she touched. Fans couldn't help but feel like they were witnessing a woman who had been held back for so long finally stepping fully into her light. And while her relationship with David was a beautiful part of that transformation, it wasn't the whole story. It was also about Christine reclaiming her voice, taking control of her happiness, and living life the way she always deserved. Her evolution didn't stop at love. It extended into her professional world as well. After leaving Cody and the polygamous lifestyle behind, Christine stepped into an entirely new identity. She wasn't just a polygamous wife anymore. She was a businesswoman, an influencer, and a woman fully in charge of her future. Christine began building a rental property business, using her newfound independence to invest in real estate. She became a landlord, flipping homes and renting out properties. It was the perfect fit, an empowering way to build something secure while giving her the flexibility to live life on her own terms. The business tapped into her entrepreneurial spirit, and it was clear she was making moves to secure her financial future in ways she never could under Cody's shadow. But it didn't stop at real estate. Her Instagram, once a place for family snapshots, transformed into a platform for brand deals, collaborations, and promotions. Christine partnered with wellness brands, promoting supplements and products that aligned with her new focus on health and self-care. Her posts reflected her renewed lifestyle, active, vibrant, and unapologetically herself. Fans loved her authenticity. The brand deals weren't just about selling products. They were about sharing what truly worked for her. And people couldn't help but admire how she turned her passions into a thriving business. Christine's growth as a businesswoman also showed in her gradual step back from sister wives. As she embraced her new life, her appearances at family gatherings dwindled. She was stepping out of the show's shadow and carving out a name for herself beyond her past. It wasn't a bitter departure, it was a choice. A clear, conscious decision to move forward and evolve. Her fans supported her every step of the way, excited to see her flourish in ways many never expected. It was obvious Christine was no longer just a character on a reality show. She was a woman fully steering her own destiny. Meanwhile, as Christine stepped into her light, Cody began to unravel in ways that were hard to ignore. The fallout from her departure weighed heavily on him, a burden he couldn't escape. In the emotional scenes of Sister Wives seasons 18 and 19, viewers watched Cody struggle with the aftermath. He was no longer the confident, in-control figure he once believed himself to be. The cracks in his facade became more visible with each passing episode. In season 18, Cody finally opened up in confessionals. For the first time, he expressed regret about how things ended with Christine. It wasn't easy for him to admit, but the pain of losing her was undeniable. He confessed that he had failed her. A relationship he once assumed would last forever had crumbled, and Cody was left to face that sobering reality. Cody's regret didn't end with just acknowledging his mistakes with Christine. By season 19, cracks even began to show in his once solid relationship with Robin. Though she had long been his emotional anchor and main focus, the mounting strain of everything they'd been through started to surface. There were moments when Cody was visibly frustrated, no longer able to keep up the calm and control he once wielded so effortlessly. Perhaps the most heartbreaking scenes were those where Cody tried to reconnect with his kids, especially his sons. His efforts to rebuild those relationships often felt strained and forced, and it was painful to watch him struggle. The reality that his family was crumbling before his eyes hit him hard. Christine's departure didn't just leave him with an empty house. It left him with a deep, undeniable sense of loss that he couldn't hide, no matter how hard he tried. Fans could see Cody spiraling, and his attempts to patch things up felt more like a desperate grasp at a life that had already slipped through his fingers. Christine's journey, meanwhile, took another powerful turn in 2023 when she announced her memoir. This wasn't just another update, it was a statement. Christine was no longer just the polygamist wife from Sister Wives. She was reclaiming her narrative and setting the stage to share her story, her truth. In a heartfelt social media post, Christine gave fans a first look at her upcoming book. For the first time, her story would be told in her own voice, without the filter of reality TV cameras or producers shaping the narrative. The announcement sent waves of excitement through her fan base. People couldn't wait to hear what Christine had to say. What was life really like behind the scenes? What truths had the cameras missed? Her memoir promised to give fans the answers they had long been waiting for. From her childhood and early days with Cody to the trials of polygamy and the heartbreaks she endured in her marriage, Christine was finally pulling back the curtain. The memoir wasn't just a book. It was a declaration of independence. For so long, Christine had been a fixture on the Sister Wives platform, but now she didn't need it to be heard. She had built a life beyond the cameras, a life where her voice stood on its own, and her story could finally be told in her words. Fans were eager to understand the woman who had spent so many years overlooked and underestimated, and to see how far she had come in reclaiming her life. Christine's departure from the chaos of the Brown family wasn't just a breakup. It was a rebirth. She chose herself at last. She walked away from dysfunction, manipulation, and the constant emotional roller coaster that had defined her life for far too long. By doing so, she didn't just leave Cody. She left behind an entire chapter of her life that no longer served her. And that, in itself, speaks volumes. Christine is no longer part of the Sister Wives' chaos, and that's a testament to her strength and the clarity she's found within herself. She's not just surviving anymore. She's thriving. Now, as she builds her new life, her new family, her career, and her love with David, she's proving that it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to reclaim your happiness and truly live the life you deserve. And while Sister Wives may carry on without her, the story of Christine's life is far from over. Now here's a question for you. Do you think Christine will ever return to the show in some form, or is she done with that chapter for good? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to comment below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for all the latest updates on everything Sister Wives. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching.